Hi. Welcome to the Madness Collective. I am Crescent. My co-host is Antoine. And hey Antoine. Our
Hi.
guest co-host tonight is Miss Tanya.
Hi. Hey, what's up? I am back.
Yes.
Woohoo. Here we go.
It's about to get Tanya in the house. It's about to get messy.
We already know some of our revolving subject matters that's going to come up at some point. So as soon as they come up, I'm going to just say, every time I'm here, we talk about this particular thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, here we go.
Tanya's a very talented actress, voiceover artist, dancer. She be doing all the things, and she has a play that she will tell you about at some point tonight. Okay, so stay tuned. Stay with
things. She's right. That's true.
If you're tuning in for the first time, we do our best to recap the day's crazy headlines, and there's always a lot. There's actually always too many. I'm gonna just keep it 100. So
there really are.
Just roll with us. So today, a shooting in Kansas City during a Chief Celebratory Parade. A few more notes regarding Super Bowl halftime show. Sorry, the country music industry about to fuck around and find out about the BeyHive. I cannot wait. And Azealia has again entered the chat, and I know Antoine is very excited about that.
I am.
Shannon, Sharpe, and Mike Epps exchange words. Club Shay Shay causing drama all over the place. So Monique's son has also now decided to enter the chat. The chat is getting crowded. Okay, like it's a lot. Killer Mike was on The View, and Sonny had questions. Good. Meanwhile, in Florida, parents need permission slips to allow their children to read a book by an African American. You heard me. Dems to keep a majority in the Pennsylvania State House. We also take back the seat Santos stole. Speaking of the House, the Grinch, Mike Johnson, got his wish, and Mayorkas was impeached by one vote. Meanwhile, Governor Abbott spent $124 million shipping motherfuckers up out of Texas. Okay, what could have been done with that money? Sorry, let me stay focused. The Senate passed an aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan, but that might be the end of it. The Senate did it, and that's all we're doing. And also, we get to tell you about who Otis Frank Boykin is, because awesomeness. Black people doing awesome things. Yay. Madness Collective. As I was jotting that shit down, I was like, there's too many topics.
It is a lot.
You might have to, conglomerate and consolidate. You might have to.
The political stuff, literally, is just more so like, hey, we want
update. It's updates, basically, yeah.
Yeah, because the other stuff probably going to take us a minute. So we prepping for the show, and we got silly shit. It was popping off in these ratchet hip hop streets, whatever. And then a motherfucking shooting happens because it's another day that ends in Y, right? So we just got another shooting, and the fact that it was at such a major event, Kansas City Chiefs, their celebratory parade. And I think right now, the last thing I saw was one person had died, and there were over 20 people injured. But I think someone else may have just passed. I don't know. This is just terrible.
At least about half of the people in the hospital with serious injuries with gunshot wounds are children.
Children, yeah.
Jesus.
What I saw was at the time, this was earlier today, that it was nine kids that were injured so far. At the very end, and this is when the parade was over and people were dispersing and leaving. So who knows what would have happened if it was at the, high time of that parade. But yeah.
And right now, because I really didn't get a chance to go too deep into full details, but they kept saying there was a criminal element. So they were trying not to say gang, at least initially earlier in the day. So I wasn't sure where they've landed with that, but they're like, it's not a terrorist attack. It's not, right. They're like, it's some other shit. And then, Missouri virtually has no gun laws. Like it's just open carry. You just walk down the street with your fucking assault rifle. Hey, have fun, free for all.
Come to the parade, have a good time. Bring your guns. Bring your kids. Bring your guns.
Yeah, I'm from St. Louis and never saw that. We had rifles and things in the house, but I've never seen. The 20 plus years I lived there. My first 21 years of life, I lived there, but never saw open carry, and so just to know that is a little crazy.
A little uncomfortable, right? And also, there's there were 800 police officers on site.
Yeah,
that didn't stop shit, did it? No, it didn't. So, also today is the 6-year anniversary of the Parkland shooting, which is what they had started out the day talking about, on a lot of the news channels. So,
Also, I don't know if y'all know about this. Y'all know who Joel Osteen is, right?
Yes.
There was a shooting at his church, and the shooter had Palestine written on their on one of the whatever firearms, and they wouldn't say that it was, they wouldn't flat out say it was an anti-Semite, but it's, and that church, I think 48,000 people attended regularly.
Yeah.
So it's like the third largest megachurch assembly.
Joel Osteen is major.
Yeah. So it's everywhere. You can't even go to church. You can't go to church.
And you know what? Honestly, I don't even know why I didn't put that on the show flow, because I knew about it, but I was like, I'm not touching this. It seems real chaotic. Y'all call this person transgender, but now you're not sure she is. Like, I was like, what?
Crazy.
What is happening? So I was like, you know what? I'm not touching this right now. So
Elon even jumped in. Elon has a hair up his ass about transgender people, and he has a transgender child. And he was the one spreading the misinformation as well.
Per usual.
And because they are trying to tie mass shootings to there's been a couple mass shootings that were, there were transgender people involved, and they're trying to make a connection between, the surgery and the hormone therapy and all this stuff. And it's just, it's wild. And to find out that's not even what the situation is, you're trying to politicize something without having all the facts. It's disgusting.
Per usual.
Yep.
And so I had Antoine, I sent Antoine and Tanya a article at the last minute. So we've talked about this in the past, but just to reiterate, okay? The first really serious gun control laws that we had in the country happened in California because Black folks, specifically the Black Panther, showed up ready.
Right. I've been saying this for years, that, you see a brother walking down the street with open carry, and it's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been saying that since they, when these arguments about gun control have been happening. And I was like, all you have to do is see a bunch of Black people with guns, and it'll kick some shit in real quick.
Right.
So that's just a prime example of it. So.
And so part of me is like, I mean, dude, is that what we need to do? All of us, every single last Negro on this planet, get an assault rifle? Then can we get abandon the assault rifles law, repass? Can we get that back on the books? I don't know, but that image of the Black Panthers at the courthouse with the rifles, and then we got gun control.
Happy Black History Month.
Yeah. And I sent Antoine 5 images. I was like, just pick one, whichever one you want.
I mean, despite the subject matter, any image of the Black Panthers is beautiful imagery for me. And I didn't pick the most beautiful one. I picked the most menacing one. So that's the one y'all got.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's what I said. I gave you some options. No.
Yes.
Karen left the comment. She said the church shooter brought her child with her. Poor kid is in critical condition with a headshot. That was the thing. I didn't have the final details, and I was like, I don't know exactly what's happening, so I'm not touching this right now. But thank you, Karen. We love our militia. Y'all just be coming through with info. Thank you.
Yeah, we need y'all to send y'all dumb friends over, because most of the time I don't think we informing y'all about shit, because y'all read the same shit we read.
So what I've decided, Antoine, is what I think is probably helpful for us and our current audience is if we can give them talking points for the people that in their families.
Yeah. I mean,
their friends.
Hopefully y'all get through to y'all's, because I never get any respect when I bring up political issues with mine. These niggas will argue with me over it. Ain't read Nan article, but Godspeed to you and your family.
Oh man,
I can say that out loud because I'm pretty sure none of them are watching.
So we can do anything but at least provide you with some bullet points, just to, if somebody start talking crazy in your presence, okay, actually. So moving on to more just silly topics. More on the Super Bowl.
Oh, wait, before we continue. I meant my immediate family, not my extended family. My extended family watches all the time. Monique, Shauna, Drea. So I'm not talking about y'all. Just had to clarify. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we love y'all. We
love y'all.
Appreciate it.
So Super Bowl. We're on Super Bowl stuff.
Yeah.
So we didn't talk about Jermaine Dupri socks a lot on Monday. Did we even mention? I think we mentioned it briefly, but
yes, we mentioned them. Yes, they were discussed.
Okay, I just couldn't remember. I feel like we didn't go in depth, but
no,
I caught this image and I asked Antoine. I was like, "Can you please? Can you please?"
Yeah, it's coming.
I thought he was literally. I thought he was wearing them damn ruffle socks. The little girl ruffle socks from afar.
Yeah, they look like Bobby socks.
I was like, is he wearing little girl ruffle socks? So yeah, I was very interested in why and what the style was, and I got an answer. I see.
Okay, and leave it up for just a little bit longer, okay? Because is that a pocket? Like what is it?
It is a pocket. It is a pocket. So
it's essentially a boot.
I can put my keys in there.
Mm-hmm.
So next time I go out, I'm gonna put on them Louis Vuittons, and I'm gonna just like, I can put my lip gloss and my keys and my socks. Great.
It's the pearl. It's the pearl for me and the penny loafers. I'm not. When I think of Jermaine Dupri, I'm not thinking to myself, like a Michael Jackson look would work for him. That's not what I would think, So fire your stylist.
Yeah, you can take it down. Because I want to highlight. I'm like, it's giving me. Oh, well, I'm gonna say this about it. You can take it down, but I'm gonna say this is, of course he's getting clowned. So he was like, those Louis Vuitton socks, they cost $500 something. Nigga, and you look crazy.
That makes it worse. That makes
Louis
it 10 times worse.
Louis Vuitton makes shit that's not cute.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Everything they make is not cute.
Yes. And to Tanya's point, you making it worse. That's not helping.
Dude, you shouldn't have told nobody you paid $500 for them socks. I don't know why come on, man. It's like, now you stupid. You stupid and they ugly. It's like, come on, dude.
An expression I love. That's not the flex you think it is. Okay? It's not. CJ's in the chat. Crystal's in the chat. Hey, Crystal, what's up?
Hey, Crystal. She ain't been here for a while.
Yeah, Sarah called it a condom pocket. That's hilarious. Danielle said we all thought he was going to Easter Sunday service. CJ said a pocket and a pearl.
Yeah, be sure. Make sure you got several condoms in there because you can't get an abortion in Georgia, I'm pretty sure. So make sure keep it wrapped up.
That part. Karen said she can't say anything because she wore slouch socks like a fiend in the 80s.
I did too, but mine was cute. I don't know what Jermaine Dupri doing because boo. I mean, and I've seen the penny loafer look with the socks. I mean, back in the day in junior high, we used to rock that. But come on, Jermaine, no.
It's cute for little kids. It's a look. Little girls, like when I went to a Catholic grammar school. Girls wore Bobby socks with penny loafers all the time. That was a look. It was, it was a vibe. Like, but not on a grown ass man that used to fuck Janet Jackson. This is not giving. Sorry, Janet. You called a straight air. You know I love you. Cause you're nasty.
Little nipple action. Okay, sorry. I'm focused. So I did have this in the chat, but I kept seeing it on my timeline is, we talked about Alicia Keys when she started singing. There was that was a little wonky. And apparently they've actually already edited like the official footage from the NFL. Like,
they auto-tuned her. Got you.
I cannot wait to see that. And they used to do that on American Idol all the time. We would see. You see the crowd, somebody exposed it. They would show the crowd going crazy over someone's vocals we were like, yeah, she killed it. And they would show the actual vocal. And they used to make edits to American Idol as well.
And I wanted to think, because I wanted your opinion on it, but I saw this, it was a guy who actually had a long thread about it. He was like, okay, you know what? Y'all fucking with people's heads. Like, you now making me question whether I saw that shit, but he was like, a whole bunch of other people saw it and heard it too. So I'm not crazy, but this replay that y'all got, that's not that.
They do it. They do it all the time. So, I've told the story before, but everybody, watching may not have been here when I told it. One year, because, I got good friends. I've been to the American Music Awards twice. I got to walk the red carpet once. But one year I went and J-Lo performed her new single. It was called Louboutins. strangely enough, Brandy has a version of the song as well. How J-Lo and Brandy are doing the same song, but then again, Brandy's producer, Darkchild, gave Brandy sound to J-Lo. That's why If You Have My Love sounds like a Brandy song, but that's another argument. So
yeah,
when
same producers, the
producers
sound the same.
Yeah. That's why Brandy and Darkchild had a falling out. So at any rate, J-Lo performs Louboutins and she falls flat on her ass. And everybody's like, oh my God, but she's the consummate performer. She got up just like Beyonce did. Michelle got up, continued her performance. Everything was fine. But because of how award shows work, if you go to an award show here in LA, most of the time, the people here don't get to view it live. The people in the Midwest and the East Coast see it live, and then the people here see it after the fact. So right. when we went back, it was when we went to a friend's house afterwards, and we were like, hey, did y'all see J-Lo fall? And they were like, J-Lo didn't fall. And we were like, she fell flat on her ass on live television. They were like, we don't know what you're talking about. So I called home in Chicago. I said, did y'all see J-Lo fall? They were like, yeah, she fell hard, nigga. Like, she fell hard. So, yeah, same thing with Whitney Houston. When she was a guest at that Michael Jackson celebration that Usher was at, Britney Spears, that was when Whitney was bad. She was heavy in the drugs. She came out and you could see her chest plate. She was a twig. When they rebroadcast it, they had airbrushed it, so she didn't look as bad. So they will fix some shit.
Well, I mean, when Janet Jackson I was at the concert with Janet Jackson. I don't know if you guys remember this, where she pulled the dude up on stage for her Velvet Rope concert, and the guy who made the concert footage, he was great. But she had pulled a different guy up at first. But he was a little too queeny for her. Ooh. And she told one of her dancers, Kelly, she said, Kel, and you could hear her saying, Kel, untie him. So she untied the first dude, and they led him off stage, and she went scanning, and she pointed at this brother. She said, I want you. Pulled the brother up, and he's the one that made her actual concert footage.
Wow.
I was at that concert in Jersey, Velvet Rope, and saw her, and everybody's like, there's one moment where she was like, cut. I was like, no, she's telling Kelly, get this dude off and bring me this other dude. So, yes, they do edit out moments on these shows and whatnot. So, that's for sure.
Kale, who I'm loving, one of our new militia members, said, couldn't they edit out JG's song? I agree. If y'all, you know what I'm saying? If y'all playing with shit.
Look.
Right? No, don't do that. Okay, moving on.
That's a look. What you mean?
So this from Cunty to Cuntry. That's not mine. I saw it on social media and I loved it, so I decided to use it. That's why it's got quotes around it. Okay, so don't come for us. So Beyonce has become the first Black female artist to hit #1 on Apple's Music Country charts. And she's the first. Wait, what is it? She's first Black female artist to occupy the first and second position on the chart simultaneously. And, there's already been conversation, like on, was it Sunday night or Monday, whatever. One of the posts was like, these country influence songs. BeyHive was like, what fuck is country? Don't country influence nothing. This is country music. Stop playing. And so, there was a station in Oklahoma that, somebody hit them up, was like, hey, y'all gonna play the Beyonce songs? And they got a response back like, no, this is a country music station. We don't play Beyonce. I don't know why he said that. But
what to be clear, because I don't want to misrepresent them. You go. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
No. Yeah, because when I first saw the post, nobody knew why that was said. Okay.
Yeah.
But since then, so at the time, the general manager there was an anonymous source from the station. They were like, look, the GM did not know that she had released 2 songs that were country, right? So literally they just were like, I guess y'all want to check for Super Bowl. That's fine. So they just didn't know. And so now the song has since been played. It is in rotation. They're like, we heard you. But I saw a tweet. I don't know if you had put it up, Antoine, or not. But this guy at Callan Allen, is that how you say
No,
his
I don't
name?
have a tweet. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
have a
it's
tweet.
okay. He said the BeyHive is basically B613. So for the Scandal fans, y'all know what that means. And then also, and I didn't want to have you put the Dolly Parton one up just because Beyonce looks so luscious.
She's coming up. This is we just because she looks so good, girl. Look, they sitting high. I ain't gonna say they sitting high.
I have a bra like that for Clyde's. Where it pushes your. It's like a. where it pushes your boobs up and in. So yeah, I mean, I don't have. I don't. I'm a.
So
B-cup,
hold that thought, Tanya, because we're gonna come back to that. But for the picture that we just showed, the caption on the tweet was Dolly Parton, please don't take my man, and it said Jolene, and it had a picture of that Beyonce. So yeah,
this is my favorite Jolene image because Dolly is on the left. Jolene is like, I can have him if I wanna, and he looking over there like, I will take her if she give it to me.
Also, so there's a rumor that she's gonna have a rendition of Jolene on this album when it comes out. So
that would be hot.
Right? Wouldn't that be dope? So Tanya mentioned Clyde's. Tanya, you want to tell people what Clyde's is so we can come see this push-up bra? Because now I was coming anyway, but
I have a push-up bra. So Clyde's is a play by Lynn Nottage. Again, Black History Month in effect. Lynn Nottage has won 2 Pulitzer Prizes for drama. She is a sister who writes phenomenal plays. She also wrote the book for MJ the Musical. And she wrote a 3-play series about incarcerated people and how they have to be, reindoctrinated into regular life and the treatment that they get. The first 2 plays were dramas, and those are the plays she won the Pulitzers for. And she wrote a 3rd play called Clyde's, which is a comedy, which is set in a sandwich shop, truck stop, run by me, Clyde, who is formerly incarcerated. She hires only ex-cons at her sandwich shop. And it's basically the formerly incarcerated in pursuit of the perfect sandwich. So they use making sandwiches as a way to find hope, find a newness in life, find purpose in life with this very burly, surly, fierce and sexy is how she's described in the play, in the book. But she's very truthful, raw. My language is very adult, so it ain't for the kiddies.
Me and Antoine love some adult language.
We do.
It's very adult. I have several very raw comments, and there's a lot of cursing, a lot of FUs and MFs and all kinds of craziness. There's sexual harassment. I harass one of the male
as you do
employees, as I do. But it's a 90-minute play. There's no intermission, and it's just like full speed ahead, straight comedy. But there's a really cool message of how the humanity of people who have been incarcerated has to be seen. They're human beings who are trying to do better, trying to let go of their past and do something new. And so there's this great theme of redemption in the play as well, set in this truck stop. And my character is Clyde, and it runs through March 10th, Thursdays through Sundays through March 10th. But there is an industry night on Monday, February 26th. It's at the Moxie Theater in San Diego. And just so you know, the Moxie Theater is all female run. Most of the production the production crew, the designers, everybody, they're females. And they do a partnership with SDSU to get young women into lighting design, sound design, set design, all of that.
That's amazing.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes. So they partner with them. So the design team met. They got a full crew. It was like a reunion, our opening night with San Diego Rap, La Jolla Playhouse, Old Globe. So all the San Diego theater community was there for opening night. And they also partner with a few organizations that help ex-cons get work and back into society. So they actually do that. And the Center for Employment Opportunities is partnering with Moxie Theater to produce this play so that their formerly incarcerated members will come to the play and really see themselves on stage in a sense.
That's nice. I love
So yeah, it's dope. I mean, I highly recommend folks come and see it. Even if you're here in LA, take a trip to San Diego and have a good time.
So just in terms of like easily finding it, if somebody just goes to Google, type in Clyde, San Diego, Clyde's what? Like
they could go to moxietheater.com, MOXIE, theater with RE, theater spelled THEATRE.
Jason said he got San Diego gas money. Caravan up there.
Come on through. Yeah, I mean it's great. Industry night is Monday the 26th, and the tickets are only $20, and you can get $20 rush seats an hour before every show. So yeah,
we can't come Monday night, but we could try and come another night. So
yeah, Thursday through Sundays typically, but yeah, and we have a student matinee next week, and so we'll have some high school students in the audience and all that. So yeah.
Nice.
A lot of fun,
Yay, Tanya. Okay. So still staying with Beyonce, and because Azealia has decided she wanted to chime in, which she does, but she also sometimes does not. So it's interesting that she chose to chime in here. And now I'm actually going to let Antoine run with this, but do you want me to read?
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Okay. Bianca girl. I love you down. But them R&B runs over the Leslie Feast, is that it?
Leslie Feist. Leslie Feist.
I was like, I don't think that's right. Leslie Feist backbeats is giving pick me sha. So, nothing country about it. You're seeing yourself, you're seeing yourself up to be ridiculed again. That's on her. I'm reading what she's wrote, okay?
Right.
There's a theatrical element to country music. Them critics are not just going to accept an ugly blonde wig and bullying from Jay-Z. It's giving big time musical grift. Yes, Black girls can do country music, but you're just really not hitting the button. K. Michelle, this is your turn to really execute. And it's no shade, but K. Michelle truly understands the assignment. Beyonce, please stop the madness. Hey, madness! I feel like if I would drink, but anyway, sorry. The gay baiting, the overtly narcissistic attempts to lazily encroach into a genre you think your popularity is gonna gain accolades for you in. Again, this is her writing, okay? Sorry.
You got to keep saying it so the hive don't come for you.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like, this is a verbatim. Thank you. Continuing with her words. You're looking like food, sis. You will gag when K. Michelle tears it. Okay, so before Antoine says what he says, we for the most part, Mass Collectors fucks with Azealia, okay? Because she's smart. She's really smart. She's also got a lot going on, but she's a smart chick. And for this instance, I'm like, you've heard 2 songs and you've ran with some shit. You ain't even heard the whole album yet, but okay, girl. And then I'm like, have you not seen the online adoration from the OG BeyHive? And it's about to be a whole new level of probies, okay? Whole new level of neophytes. Like we've been talking about seeing videos. The white girls out here showing you how to get the big hair. They out here doing the songs over already. They dosing, like, like it's gonna be hard to come up on these Act 2 tickets. We fighting a whole new fucking crop of people. But okay, Azealia, Antoine.
I see, because she's so blunt. The message, because I know what she was getting at when she said this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you an example. Can anybody watching, and my 2 co-hosts here, I want y'all to name me your favorite British rapper. Who's your favorite British rapper?
Oh God!
Don't lie. You don't have one.
No.
You don't have.
Black dude. So
you can't even remember his fucking name. He's not your favorite British rapper. And the British
rapper is the only British rapper I'm aware of. That's
exactly. The reason that is because culturally, when we hear someone rap and their vocal inflection and accent don't match what we are used to, what's conventional, it sounds wrong. It doesn't sound right. I'll even give you an example. When I heard Booed Up by LMA, I had heard several songs from LMA, and I'm like, damn, she makes some good-ass music. And I heard Booed Up, and then she started talking, and it took me completely out of the song. Because her talking was total British accent, and then she goes back to singing with an American accent. Adele wouldn't get as much traction if she sang with a British accent when she sings. You wouldn't know she's British if you just listen to her sing. So what I'm getting at is, I'm not saying Beyonce clearly didn't do anything wrong here. What she's saying, that traditional fans of country music, they are fans not just because of the music that backs the vocals. There is an accent and twang that is conventional in country music. Going downtown to the old Opry, not a nigger in sight, and I feel so free. That type of shit, right? So, ride around town in my pickup truck with my Confederate flag. I don't give a fuck.
Really? Okay.
That accent, and I'm telling you that 90% of country songs, it's not just, a slide guitar, it's also that vocal inflection.
Well, and you're right, because when you listen to, and country comes from blues, obviously we know where it comes from.
Yes.
But, and as somebody who's listened to a lot of blues and older classic black music, 1920s, 30s, 40s, all that music, you're right in terms of the accent that you hear. You're right in terms of the inflection that you hear.
Yes.
I mean, Beyonce, to me, she's always had a country ass accent, and so
she
it's black
does.
country, but it's still country. She's still a Southerner,
especially when she's talking, especially when she's normal talking.
So I think her trill and her R&B style, you're right, but she still has a country ass accent, and she sings in that accent. And when you listen to stuff on Lemonade, she country as fuck on Lemonade. So it's kind of like, it makes sense to me. Like when I heard her, I was just like, okay, I don't feel like it's out of pocket. I don't feel like it's dissonant that she's singing country music, because she's always had a country twang, and she's always used country ass black vernacular in her music. And so I'm like, okay, we going back to our roots. We going back to blues and all that shit. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
Daddy Lessons on Lemonade was literally the first time I ever listened to the entire album. That was one of the songs that really jumped out for me. Like, I love that track.
It's one of the best songs she's ever written. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I will say this. I feel like with contemporary country, some of the songs, there's less of that twang. There's less of that like heavy.
Definitely.
Action, right. So like one of my favorite all time right now, at least as a youngin', it's aside from Jolene, because that track is fire.
One of the best of all time.
Best of all time. But like from a contemporary artist, so Carrie Underwood, Before He Cheats, motherfucker, that's my karaoke song. Like that shit, like that's in,
and that's the thing. Artists are, and I always like when artists cross genres. I just like that.
Yeah.
So, I don't think you should, especially an artist who's earned their stripes over 2.5 decades of music and work and whatnot. You can do what the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make a country album, make a country album. And it's and I feel like her roots are very Southern. So why can't she make a Beyonce?
Look, all I'm saying is that I'm not saying she did anything wrong. What I'm saying is that just like we don't accept British rappers, you gotta do something extra for us to notice, because it sounds weird. All I'm saying is that the audience that typically buys country, because y'all know we not out here purchasing country music on a regular basis like that strong country audience. This sounds different to them because they're not hearing the inflection and accent that they're used to hearing. It's still a Southern accent, but it is very different from the one that they're used to hearing in the songs. So I think to a lot of them, this song sounds more like a pop / R&B / country song rather than a flat out country song that a Miranda Lambert or a Tim McGraw would sing. That's all I'm saying. I think
when you're saying them, you're talking about like country music industry, like so the radio station.
People who regularly listen to country music, go to the concerts. So all I'm saying is that here, I don't think we owe anybody a grace period because it's our fucking music to begin with. But I do think it's going to take them some time to get used to this form of country music, because she is still singing with a Southern accent, but it's a Negro-fied Southern accent.
It's Beyonce. And so it's not like she's not recognizable in terms of her vocal style and all that stuff. It's Beyonce singing country music. So I think there's people who are going to eat it up because, it's Beyonce singing, and there's people who are going to reject it. But that's music in general. So it's like,
Antoine, so I do feel like not necessarily two different lanes, but people in the kind of who are used to listening to a certain type of country music, yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Purists.
But as far as Azealia's perspective, I'm like, I think that's a portion of what she's getting at.
That was a portion. That wasn't the full. She threw a lot of shade in there. I'm not justifying everything she said. At the heart of it, though, I believe that what I'm explaining is what she was getting at, because I will tell you this. You know who did not get the recognition for doing this sort of thing about a year ago was K. Michelle. K. Michelle's natural... K. Michelle won a fucking yodeling scholarship to Florida A&M.
Yeah.
And K. Michelle had an alter ego she called Pudding, and she dropped some songs, and K. Michelle sings them with the expected vocal inflection and accent that audience should have recognized, and they would not give her flowers, because I heard a couple of K. Michelle songs. She did the pop type stuff. And then I heard one, I'm like, it's a banjo. She's singing with the inflection. But I think because, she brown skinned girl, it looks weird to people. So I get it. I guess at this point, it's like, you just go take it how it is at this point. But yeah, I think that's what she was getting at. Also, I worked at a radio station at WBNQ, shout out to Bloomington, Illinois. I worked at a radio station, and country radio is not like R&B radio when it comes to program direction. So a lot of these songs, country radio, you have to service the songs to the radio station. They're not big on playing shit that people request. So initially they didn't play the song. Once Beyonce's label, I'm assuming it was Parkwood, once they serviced it to the stations, a lot of them started playing it. So I do believe the next cycle, I do think it's going to chart on the Billboard country charts.
No, I think it's just, I agree with you. I think it's just a matter of time. Just quickly on that, Tanya, because I was reading about this whole servicing thing, but some of them are just like, okay, because y'all blowing us up, so we just going to get this track and fucking play it. And they, got it in rotation quickly. But Tanya, you're about to say something.
Well, I was about to say, there's another artist who is not traditionally country that hit on country because he's country as fuck. He's from St. Louis, Nelly. He came out and did a whole, and did some duets with country artists, but he has that as he says, country grammar. That's his accent. And so I think black artists kind of going into this genre makes sense. And if you ask me, Southern black artists going into country music makes perfect fucking sense. So I personally, I have no problems with it.
I love K. Michelle's voice, and I feel like one way of looking at it is now you got a global superstar officially putting her whole motherfucking self in the game. So this could be a good look for you, K. Michelle. Re-release your shit.
I hope Beyonce throws her a bone on a remix or something, because the music is good. Like, speaking of Nelly, we go, you might call me a dirty backwoods hit. Just wait till I get Nelly on the remix. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop, shimmy, shimmy, ow. Psych. No niggers allowed.
These lyrics you coming with? What?
I don't even want to know where that reference is. I don't need to know.
That's the foundation for 99% of all country songs.
I don't need to know.
Wait, Antoine, was that just off the dome? Antoine, was that just you like freestyling?
Of course. How you She mentioned Nelly and I brought it up. It proved we didn't congregate beforehand. Shit.
I want to give you your props. That's why I was clarifying. We got freestyles. What's up? Check for the Madness Collective. You don't know what you're gonna get.
You sure don't.
So last thing I'm gonna say about this Azealia shit, we moving on, is the line, the gay baiting, the overtly narcissistic attempts to lazily encroach in the genre. Like, she's from Houston. That's the Shay part. That second
that's Shay. That's Shay.
Okay, girl. Okay.
That's Shay. That's Shay. One last thing, then we can move on. I want also people to remember that we're in this age where hypocrisy is just, it's the topic of the day. Everybody's a hypocrite. But please remember, Beyonce is basically doing a reverse of what Taylor Swift did. Mm-hmm. Taylor Swift entered the chat as a country artist, and she did not have that. She did not have that strong country twang. So if anybody says
did it too.
Leanne Rimes, all these people started out.
They went pop and so come on.
Right, but I specifically want to point out Taylor, because Taylor don't even speak with a strong country accent. And when she first came out with that guitar, it essentially was, it's the same thing Beyonce is doing right now. So if anybody tries to tell you she don't belong, pull up a Taylor Swift song from early in her career and say, how different is it from this?
That part. So see the type of layered and nuanced conversation you can have if you fucking know some shit. You know what I mean? I'm just pointing that out. I'm gonna point that out. Okay.
No niggers allowed. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop, shimmy, shimmy, ow.
Oh my God. Somebody take away whatever you're drinking. You take it.
Girl, you don't even know. I ain't had a drink in I don't know how long. And when I was sick on Monday, that was not from alcohol drinking at the Super Bowl. I had a stomach bug.
Well, then we giving you a drink because maybe it'll chill you out.
Because Sarah did ask where's the swear meter because we're supposed to be doing better, so we working on it.
That's next week. That's next week.
My play. I think she asked that in reference to Clyde. Where's the swear meter?
Oh, okay,
okay.
It's something that we were talking about, so that's why I was like, maybe it goes across a couple different things.
It's up there.
Right. So quickly, Stormzy is the British artist I was fucking thinking of. And Dion said Moni Love. And Jason said
Moni Love. Now, you know what? Stop playing, Dion. Now, look, I expected y'all. I really wanted one of y'all to say this. I wanted one of y'all to say Slick Rick. Nobody did.
Oh, no, sorry.
But Slick Rick is the GOAT when it comes to that. But even the way he did it,
21 Savage? 21 Savage?
No, because 21, it only counts if they rap with a British accent. Okay. Imposters don't count. So Moni y'all know what the fuck I mean.
Okay. I don't know who this is.
Roots Maneuver. I know Roots Maneuver is.
I figured you did. I don't. And Karen said everyone in Massive Attack. So, okay.
I love Massive Attack.
Moving on.
Massive Attack did the I'm thinking of Massive Attack did the music that was the theme song to House MD. Just pointing that out.
See, okay, right.
Yeah, just pointing that out.
Okay, Sarah said she's made up country songs several times on the spot. It's easier than you think.
I'll tell you, y'all don't think I'm that good. It really is easy.
I can make up a country song about washing the dishes. I mean, it's not hard.
Do you see? She said a little domestic violence, some beer, side, pick up truck, and you got a song.
Throw a Confederate flag in that bitch, and you might have a #1 single. No niggers allowed.
Why he spelled allowed like that?
I know, because that's how they say it.
Allowed.
Okay, I'm sorry. We are moving on. So just revisiting something Antoine talked about on Monday night in terms of the origins of country. Did I not make nope, I did not. See, this is what happens when you're rushing. So there's no lower third for that. We're just going to talk about it.
Oh, it's okay.
So Gus Cannon is a Black musician who helped popularize the jug bands. And then, so what Antoine was talking about Monday night was who taught Johnny Cash, what the fuck, everything he know.
Yeah.
And the guitar finger picking style was developed by Black guitarist Leslie Riddle, who is again, who Antoine was talking about on Monday. So the Gus Cannon was a new name for me. So I was
anytime you see a household item used as an instrument, you got to know Black folks invented it. Like jugs, spoons, tap dancing with the bottle cap on the bottom. I mean, this is all stuff Black folks is like, we ain't got the real thing, so let's figure out how we gonna make it happen. So that's anytime you see stuff like the washboard, all that.
So wait, Antoine, who are these people that you're showing?
So the guy it's funny when you look at this photo, you might be confused. The guy on the right is actually Leslie Riddle. You really can't tell. He looks racially ambiguous. He looks like, and he's the one that taught. He actually taught. He not only taught Mama Carter how to play the style of finger picking guitar that she played, but he was friends with her husband, and they would go they would basically go and find these Appalachian musicians, and he was like he would memorize the songs, and then he would take them back and teach them to Mama Carter, and then they would arrange them for her to play live. And then
who's that?
This is Gus Cannon. That's Gus Cannon.
Okay.
And Gus Cannon is the one that taught he taught Johnny Cash. And then they didn't have a lot of good pictures of Rufus Payne, but Rufus Payne taught Hank Williams. And Hank Williams is basically considered the father of country music. So all of the major players in country music were strongly influenced. And even with Hank Williams, because we got to do everything, y'all, everything. Where Hank Williams, he was really shy, and Rufus even helped him break out of his shyness. So, yeah, it's unsung heroes. 99% of Negroes in the United States do not know who these people are. But even if they don't listen to their music, most people know who Hank Williams, maybe not the Carter family, but Johnny Cash, everybody knows who Johnny Cash is.
Kel said Antoine, the resident walking encyclopedia. That part, like,
it'd be wasted on niggas because they don't be caring about none of this shit in general. Where they be like, where the remix at with Drake and 21 Savage at?
Okay, all right. Moving on. Because clearly it's 2024 is about Club Shay Shay, because why not? So,
hey, that man, he ain't mad. That's all I got to say.
Hey, do you? We trying to get on Club Shay Shay level.
Club Shay is a legit platform now for people to go on, be heard, go viral. I mean, this is like legit.
Also, I appreciate that you said Club Shay and not Club Shay Shay.
I think
Club Shay Shay.
We're gonna have to start saying Club Shay. I can't.
Because thank you. Like I'll be okay with a rebrand as far as that goes. But whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay. So quick backstory. During the comedy set, Mike Epps said that Shannon reached out to him regarding an interview, but he declined because while hinting that Sharpe is gay with comparisons to Madea and Big Frida. And Antoine will definitely weigh in. So this prompted Shannon to clap back and threatened to release the DMs of their real conversation. So then Epps went on to clear the air, and he admitted that he lied about Shannon hitting his DMs for an interview. Instead, he said it was the other way around. And he did DM him after his name was brought up during the Cat Williams interview, right? And so he was clowning, first of all. So there's I wish I could drop it in the chat, but it's too much shit floating around for me. But Mike got on IG and was like, okay, so first he clowned the name Shay Shay, which we just did, so that's fair. But he said, so many people talk crazy about you, right? Like SNL did a sketch, but now you want to fight me. So, but he said, you right. I did DM you to get on the show because you brought my name up when you were sitting there with Kat and you were trying to get him to talk crazy about me, but he didn't. So then what happens next is a part of this IG video is Mike goes, All-Star Weekend is in Indianapolis, right? That's my hometown. So I'm going to see you. And then Epps says, he's like, look, I don't fight no more. But what does happen is, and then imitates Bucky shooting, right? Blank. And I was like, what is happening? Then he also told Ocho to shut his mouth. He can get some eyebrows. That was actually funny.
I watched this. I did watch that interview. And Mike Epps, he is. I have a whole Mike Epps story in the Laugh Factory I've met. But anywho,
right.
He was funny. But most of it, to me, it seemed like just being around him and comedians. The end of it was a whole promo for his show.
Well, so
it wasn't like, to me, he was fucking around as a comic as usual, per usual, a comedian going in on somebody talking shit and then promoting his show at the end of it. So that's section. So, and before he got to the promotion of the show, he doubled down though. He's like, you did look like Madea sitting there. You was looking zesty. He was like, you was looking zesty. I'm not saying gay, but you look like Big Frida sitting there. You need to take those tight shirts off with the muscles, right? And then he does go into plugging his show. My thing though is that section where he's like hometown nap and like that was a little uncomfortable. So jokes aside, like that, I got a different energy from that. And so then Shannon Sharpe came back and he was like, all right, you know what? We just gonna have a man-to-man conversation because this sounded like it could go someplace else, right? Like he was like, we both realized the situation could have been handled differently. You know, I apologize to fam, friends, et cetera, et cetera. So Antoine.
Both of these niggas are raising America's future, and I'm terrified. I'm terrified. In 2024, the basic fucking common denominator when you want to insult another nigga is to call him gay. We all joke about shit, but it's a constant fucking stream of gay jokes all the time. And what I hate about it is that it's like they forget that some black people are gay. and we're not supposed to try and, belittle other people. It's okay. A little light humor here and there is okay, but you are creating an environment that is harmful to Black gay youth in particular. Stop making fun of gay people all the fucking time. It's ridiculous. It's out of control. And y'all sitting there playing around with violence and shit in this current. We just talked about fucking shootings in churches, and you playing around with this shit. Y'all too grown for this. Mike Epps is funny enough. He could have said something just as funny that didn't go in that direction. But guess what? It's always the low-hanging fruit these days to go in that direction. It's just showing that y'all niggas ain't as funny as you think you are.
Well, the other thing is, you're right. When I was about to say that, that's a go-to. I mean, being in the comedy clubs for years, working with these people, hearing their sets every night, that is a go-to amongst straight guys, these alpha guys, to insult each other by calling each other gay or you look this. That's from shorties. Right. They do that. Yeah. So and it hasn't changed, and it's still definitely in that generation. It's still an insult. I mean, I think younger comedians maybe not, but Mark Epps, Shay, all of them, dude, they still do that. You see them if they ain't got a camera on them, they gonna say some shit. So and it's like, much worse, honestly, than when they do have a camera on them. So
of course,
you're right. You're right. So I will say this: when we were first talking about Club Shay Shay and the Cat Williams interview, Antoine and I had a conversation about the name Shay Shay. And what did you say your mom said? Your mom said
it was zesty. Yeah, she said it was zesty.
I thought she said sassy.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I stand corrected. It was sassy, not zesty. She don't use the word zesty. She said sassy.
But the reason why I was trying to remember is because I do like the word zesty. That shit is funny.
It is. Mike Epps was not. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. But I, to your point, he is gifted enough that even the initial delivery, the initial commentary about it, could have gone in a different way. Because first of all, the name Shay Shay. And it's a little sassy. It is a little sassy. But
and he said that. What grown man calls himself Shay Shay? Yeah, he said that.
It wasn't. Honestly. And like I'm saying, and to be fair, I'm picking on Mike Epps because this is, it's the flavor of the day. This was light humor. This actually wasn't that big of a deal. But the steady stream of it is similar to the overt sexuality in female rap. I can't say Megan wrong for doing it. I can't say Nicki wrong for doing it, but it's like, goddamn, all y'all doing it. And it slaps different when you keep hearing it from every Black comedian. So he didn't really go in there hard. And it was funny when I saw the photo that he posted of Big Frida and Medea. I did laugh. So
but also to your point, you've noted that the Breakfast Club, in this instance, DJ Envy and Charlamagne, their go-to is calling each other gay or making gay jokes or like whatever. You've mentioned that before. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's the same commentary as, you acting like a bitch or you acting like a girl or you acting like it's the same kind of mentality where the go-to to insult a man is to liken him to a woman or liken him to somebody who's gay. It's the same, mentality.
Mason Cameron do it all the time on their podcast. They say pause every 5 minutes.
They say zesty a lot too.
Yeah, and the thing about and again, there's a way to move within the culture where here's the example I'll give you. I've mentioned this before. For years, my favorite comedian was Louis C.K. Louis C.K. would make gay jokes all the time, but we knew that Louis C.K. didn't have hate in his heart because he would also do self-deprecating humor. So he would make sure you knew I love gay people, but he would also make fun of them. When you do those at the same time, we can laugh with you. When you constantly make fun of gay people and you have no gay friends, you never say anything positive about gay people, that shit slaps different. It feels like you're homophobic. And that makes the whole difference. You can make fun of everybody, but when you beat down on them, it's like, When has Dave Chappelle said anything positive about a gay or trans person in the past 10 years? I can't point to anything.
He had that one friend. Remember the one transgender friend who ended up committing suicide.
Right.
And we spent a time talking about that.
Which is the equivalent of Herschel Walker. It was a Herschel Walker moment, which is insulting.
It's the equivalent of somebody white talking about, I got that one black friend.
Right. I have a black
friend.
Well, one of my best friends is black.
We really don't like you when you pull somebody who is not representative of the greater audience to use as a representative. It's like, you definitely don't get it. You found this person. It's just like Flame Monroe. Flame Monroe came out saying all these different things, and the thing, it broke my heart because I like Flame Monroe.
So but I'm like, Flame Monroe is because not everybody knows.
Yeah, Flame Monroe is a
comedian.
But she's a trans comedian. That's the big difference.
Yes.
So she would come out and say all these negative things about gay people and trans people, and I'm like, yeah, I can't really fuck with you. That's why Funky Dineva got mad at TGIF when he left the show, and they went and got Flame Monroe damn near immediately because he's like, I will never do a show with her because of the things that she said. So yeah, I wish they would stop. It's a lot. It's a lot.
And we will move on. With regard to the Dave Chappelle, that particular set that he did that caused all that drama, Netflix, the protests, all that stuff. I will say this: what was disappointing for me is that I'm like, you don't see how you were coming across as I got that one black friend like that. You didn't see that, like how, and I'm like, you considered a genius in this space, right? Like I would give you that. So I was like, there's something else going on here, but whatever. So, so clearly we are going to go over an hour again.
This happens every time I'm on the show. Literally every time.
Here's the thing. For our first 2 weeks of, I'm going to say our first kind of 2 tech weeks, let's call that, right? This is the start of our 3rd week since we've been back, right? It's 3rd or 4th, Antoine? 3rd. I don't. Oh wait, I can't hear you, and neither can.
You're out, Antoine. You're out.
Okay, because I was like, did I freeze? I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Okay, yeah, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. So it's our 3rd or 4th week being back, and we had been sticking to the hour pretty religiously. And now it's just we got back into our rhythm where in the past we would.
What about now?
Oh yeah, hey, what's up? Yeah,
okay.
What's up?
Sometimes you gotta unplug it and plug it back in.
Hello, that part, super easy.
That's what she said. No,
no, nigga, that's what he said.
And on that note, happy Valentine's Day. Okay,
I have my award. Wait, okay,
I meant to ask you about your T-shirt.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay, I see you.
Happy Ash Wednesday to the Christians out there as well.
Oh, it's Ash Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah, it's Ash Wednesday.
My St. Louis few days at Catholic school, everybody would have ash on their foreheads walking around campus,
Yeah.
For 8 years I had it. 8 years straight.
Flame does
to celebrate just continuing on with Black History Month and Black and Legendary. Oh, I actually got this from Target. And Antoine and I are going to come back to this Target conversation about how they moved the motherfucking Black History display to the motherfucking back of the store. But I'm not going to go there right now. That's a Friday conversation.
To protect the fucking employees. Can you believe that shit?
That rolls right into the elementary school Black
right. So, okay, right. Thank you. But we got to talk about Monique again. So, Monique's son, is it Shalon?
It's Shalon.
Okay. Shalon. So 9 minutes and 49 seconds. Okay. He was like, oh, I'm going to make time today because what I need to do is respond to what my mother said. Okay. And he said, I wrote it down so that I would stay focused and I would not get emotional. He said, I wanted to be able to say my piece. I wanted to be able to say this without being interrupted. So that is why I'm doing this delivery in this way. Okay.
For filth.
Okay. So it was sobering voice, right? Like just
eloquent, direct, stayed on topic, was not insulting. Oh, it was read of the year in my opinion. Read of the year.
So what he said is, I wanted to provide some context for y'all. Okay. He said his mom portrayed a false narrative about their relationship. Okay. He said faith without work is dead. And neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other. He went on to say that the comedian doesn't care to be his mother anymore, and that nor does he care to be her son. Mutual right now. He's like, he also clarified that he doesn't anticipate either of their feelings on that changing. He's like, I'm tired of hearing my mother's truths. Newsflash, I'm not sure people know, but standing in your truth doesn't make you noble. Nigga, that's a quote right there. Now that's a quote. Okay. Ooh. Sorry, let me, like, Tanya's hiding. So yeah, so like I said, very sobering video. As Antoine noted, that was a performance. I mean, award winning. Then Monique and Daddy, aka Sydney, or Monique and Sydney, aka Daddy, whatever. They responded. He responded. There was a response from the duo, from them. Your mother, father, and I all have a loving relationship and communicate back and forth because of the love we have for you. Leave half of what you see and none of what is said that you hear. That's awkward. But what we will convey is this. Those who are parents and have raised their children up to being adults, you know that there comes a time and a place in which they determine their own decisions. What? Anyway, then he implied that he had the son had mental health issues.
That was terrible because you're outing somebody. That is private information. What's the that violates HIPAA laws or some shit. Don't speak on his mental health. He didn't mention his mental health. And you're not his father. You don't have the right to speak on that.
So he said, this is quoting Sydney, if we have more public conversations, there will be less private angst. Honestly, the words from Sydney, aka Daddy, is English your first language? Because I'm not really sure. And I'm going to go ahead and go there for 2 seconds. Tanya, I don't know how you might be, but I can be a little bit of a name snob when it comes to men. I'm sorry. I'm just go ahead and cop that. I'm of an age where I'm okay telling people who I am and what I'm about. And so if a grown man was like, hi, my name is Sydney in the year of our Lord 2024, I might be like, do you have a middle name? Because I'm sorry. Like right now, we in doing thing, I'm like, oh, Sydney, that's not coming off of, I don't like that.
Sydney and Leslie and Pat are unisex names. And because of the times that we live in now.
Sydney, so I guess they'd be insulted. So
yeah, sorry.
Can't blame them with their mama's name though.
At this point, I know more girls named Sydney, and it's younger, right? It's like that younger generation is like, that's what they're being named.
The Sydneys I know are my age, so I mean the male Sydneys I know are grown ass men, 40s, 50s. So
well, remember
Sidney Poitier.
Sydney, that was actually the first person I thought of,
and that's who they're named after. FYI, the men in our age range are named after Sidney Poitier.
This Sydney ain't living up to that Sydney, okay? So that's not happening.
Well, we ain't arguing about that. I mean,
the guy, the actor who passed away, who was on Will and Grace, Leslie, what was his? I don't remember his last name.
Oh yeah,
I loved him. I love that man. So and part of this is me clowning because I don't like this man, Sydney. I don't like him. No. So that's the part of it. Like the energy I get from him, I'm like, gross. So
it was a lot of gaslighting and just he was very clear and concise. And the thing is, I hate it when people miss the main point in the message. Her son clearly said, when my mom tries to rectify a situation and she brings what she has to the table, we never get anywhere when it doesn't involve money. And these niggas sat up there and talked about nothing but monetary contributions to that man's life. We took you to get a car. He literally said he don't care about that. Mm-hmm. There's been no parenting. And, it was the him for at least 3 times. For me, it was the her daddy that he kept saying. That for me, I'm like, it was so, I loved how he was so articulate.
He really was.
In the read. He read her like a drag queen that has a PhD. Like it was there was a beauty in the read.
Yeah, it was.
It was good.
It was very, very, very well done.
No word was wasted. There was no space, no dead. It was everything. There was space, but it was used in an eloquent way.
So the other thing that's been happening is these responses from Monique and Daddy have just proven him that they're just further helping him out. They're just further proving his point, the son's point.
Yep.
Like, again, y'all responses aren't helping y'all in the way in which you think they might be. So, and a lot of the commentary on, at least on Twitter, X is what I call it, is a lot of people are like, who have these damaged relationships with their parents, are like, it is on the parent to figure out the best way to figure out how to repair that. Y'all keep blaming him for shit. It's like, y'all, this all kicked off because of your behavior. Hello, like, parents. So
real quick, he made the reason they just don't get it. He said, neither I nor my mother care to repair this relationship, and the fact that she continues to imply that that is the case is misleading. Now, once I heard that, if you truly feel like you want to repair it as his mother, he said that neither one of you care about the situation. You know how you try and fix it if you truly care? You reach out to him and say, son, I do care. I'm reaching out to you right now. You should not have gone on social media and said anything about this child. He clearly, as much as he said he's unbothered, he is clearly in pain because of this situation. And he only brought, I didn't even know, I knew nothing about this man. The only reason he brought this up is because that video that has over 11 million views, you sat up there and said that he can come to you and let the universe figure it out. And he felt a type of way about that because you brought up his fucking name. We're where we're at now. You know, she's just, I'm sorry, I don't like to say, she's trash. Both of them are trash. They're trash people. They're not good people.
I mean, and somebody pointed out the goodwill that you had gotten because of from the Club Shay Shay interview, where people were like, "Oh, we're checking for you." That's going by the wayside, man, because this it's not looking good for you. So sorry, just shouting out some more folks. Juba ended their chat. What's up? Hey. And then Tony was like, I was late. So you lucky because we going over an hour. So here you go. Here you go. I don't want to spend too much time on Killer Mike. But he went on The View, which I was like, and they talked about him being led away in handcuffs at the Grammys, and that got addressed. And actually, Sunny, who is a former was she a prosecutor? I forgot exactly.
She was a prosecutor.
Yeah, that's what I thought. She's a former prosecutor. Mm-hmm. She brought that up, and she was like, "Yeah, I didn't like how that seemed to have gone down." But at one point, they got into his seemingly support for Governor Brian Kemp, Republican, right, who ran against Stacey Abrams. And so he said, even though we have a Republican governor, I have a good relationship with him. I like what he's done with Georgia business. And remember, there is a picture of the two of them together. Isn't there like a picture of a plantation in the background? Like, and you standing next to this man. Anyway, he said he brought back the Hope Scholarship. This is Mike and Sunny on The View the other day. Regarding Governor Kemp, he said, he brought back the Hope Scholarship and expanded it. So if you're a kid in Georgia and you're poor, you get a B average, you can go to college for free, or you can go to a trade school, right? Okay. And then there was one of the articles mentioned some other stuff that he's doing, which
he also said he likes what he's doing for business in Georgia. He said that as well.
Yeah. And then there was I hate when one article doesn't cover all the things. Like there was one article that said this, another article that said that. And so he also said, you know what? I'm gonna keep it moving. Because I think this is the other part. He said that. So then it got to Sonny was like, "You lost me a little bit with your support of Kemp." Then Mike interrupts her and says, "Not support of Kemp. That's some misinformation. You cannot like me, but don't lie on me." And so Sonny was like, "So you don't support him? You like his policies?" And then Mike clarified, he's the governor of my state, so I have to be involved with him because I can't divorce myself. If you criticize someone, don't lie. And then he said, don't say I didn't support Stacey Abrams because I did. Don't say I don't support Democrats because I do. But if someone is in the king's seat, I'm not going to not have dinner with the king on behalf of my people. I actually don't really even want to even continue to talk about this because there are so many levels of this that piss me off. But I just want to let y'all know that that's coming down.
he has a pattern. What he does is he did the same thing on Bill Maher. You go on Bill Maher and you criticize Joe Biden without explaining any of the shortcomings of Donald Trump. That's misleading. You go on here with Sonny Hostin and you praise Governor Kemp. I have a good relationship with him. He brought back the Hope Scholarship. He's doing good things for businesses in Georgia. You don't mention anything about the voter suppression law that he signed to disenfranchise niggas from voting. You didn't bring any of that up. Y'all don't listen to anything this false prophet has to say. He has shown his true colors. The only way you could have shown more support was by sending Governor Kemp a fucking check every month after he gave birth to your child. Everything you said clearly shows support for him. Now you playing these fucking reindeer games with words, and it's like what? It's like what? I watched this clip, and I'm like, am I having a stroke? What is happening here?
Antoine, I couldn't actually even bring myself to watch the clip because I was going to throw something. Like I was like, I can't do it. I just had to read the excerpt because even written out, my blood was boiling. So thank you for addressing it like that.
I'm so disappointed in him.
I mean, I'm not because I don't have expectations, and I'm gonna do another deep dive into the Stacey Abrams stuff because once again, receipts on Twitter said otherwise. Killer.
He's in the one clip. He's with Charlemagne, and I forget who the other person is, and he's basically trying to give Stacey Abrams advice. This is when she was running, and Kemp is going out and reaching out to the black community. That's what you need to do. Let me give you some advice, Stacey. And what that comes off as, Kemp is doing everything right, and Stacey, you're doing everything wrong. That's a fucking misrepresentation of the truth. And you have a pattern of doing this. So yeah, I'm done. I'm done with him. I don't fuck with this nigga. You're trash.
And then calling Governor Kemp, referring to him as the king. Like I get why you said it that way, but ew. Like that's gross.
You don't have to work with him. If there are certain things, if your only local grocery store and that's the only place that's hiring, your mama goes in there and your owner gets in a disagreement with your mama and he calls her a nigger. Well, I got to work for him. He the only grocery store in town. Nigga, move. You don't have to work with him. Nobody is forcing you to work with a man who tried to disenfranchise all black people. Y'all remember we talked about that law that he signed is the one where you can't give people water in line. You can't give them food when they're in line to vote. They removed all the drop boxes, not all of them. They removed a ton of drop boxes. They made it more difficult to send in mail-in ballots. All of that happened because there was no proof of voter fraud. All of that happened to make it more difficult for African Americans to cast votes. That was the only reason. And you sitting up here telling everybody this motherfucker is a king. You're a piece of shit.
Go ahead, Tanya. You were about to say.
Sorry. I forgot what I was going to say. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I know it was something about local politics that I was going to make a comment.
Well, because he did keep mentioning, he's like, I'm very focused on local politics. I helped get some Democratic mayors, elected. I did this local. Like, I'm focused on local politics. Motherfuckers can't get an abortion. Women cannot get an abortion in that state. So kill Mike. Just please stop. Like, I don't. There was something else I was going to say about it, but I'm just trying to keep my.
But he keeps, the last thing I'm going to say on this, I wish he would just keep that same energy. If you are focusing on local, because he mentioned a mayoral race and all these other things, please just focus on that. If you're so focused on local politics, stop speaking on federal and national politics, even statewide. Why are you speaking on it if you're not focused on it? Just speak on the local ones because I would. Let me stop. I could go on for days. Let me stop. I've said enough already.
Yeah. I did have one other, but I'm like, I don't want to. Like, I just don't.
It's pointless.
Yeah, just don't listen. Don't listen to that man.
We lost one. He gone.
Wait. He for the streets.
he out here with Larsa Pippen. They out in the streets. Oh, there's trouble in paradise with them, apparently. You know, Michael Jordan is praising the Lord right now. You know he is.
So just for those who don't know, Larsa Pippen and Michael Jackson's son, Michael Jackson, good Lord, Michael Jordan's son. What's the child's name? What's that boy's name? What's the son's name? Is it Jordan? It's not Jordan Jr., is it?
No, I don't think it's Jordan Jr. I can't remember his name.
But anyway, Larsa and the is
it James? I can't think of what his name is.
Oh my God. They broke up.
Long story short, it's over.
Right.
She's like, how much older is she than he is?
I mean, I wasn't sure. I mean, we putting allegedly banner up. I mean, I didn't see confirmation. I just saw the shit about.
I did see that they were on the skids or on the rocks or something.
Yeah, I saw that there's trouble in paradise. So yeah, you're welcome, Michael.
The son's name is Marcus Jordan.
Marcus, okay. Damn.
And Larsa is 49 and Marcus is 33. So
it's not the age difference. It's the fact that she was fucking Michael's arch nemesis today. Obviously, they were not nemesis. Is it nemesis? They were not nemesis in the past. They were partners, but shit.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Ain't no honor.
I'm still trying to remember the last point I had about Killer Mike because I really do want to let this go, but I really wanted to say it. So, but fuck it. All right, moving on. Speaking of Republican governors and some fuck shit, Florida fuck shit. So, and I actually, you know what? On the show flow, I was going over my notes and I was like, ooh, I didn't even get the fucking the cliff notes on this one. But basically, child came home with a permission slip that her parent needed to sign in order for her to have permission to participate in a read-along that was by an African-American author. So there's the permission slip. Let me take this off so we can still see Tanya. Yeah, so the tweet said, so I had to give permission for this or else my child would not be able to participate in this particular event. And the form describes an activity as a read-along scheduled for Tuesday. Next to types of guests that may attend, it says fireman, doctor, artist, whatever. So the issue is Florida's law about basically the Stop Woke Act. Okay, just Jesus Christ, which limits how race can be taught in school. And so, but just overarching, this is the type of shit that you dealing with particularly with this crop of Republican governors. While Killer Mike want to sit up there talking about all the good that he thinks fucking that Kemp did, but this is the type of bullshit that we out here trying to combat while you over here talking about, I mean, you know, he cool with me. No, because if Kemp could pass some shit like this, trust me, he probably trying. He probably
now, this is what I understood it to me, having read this article, that this read-along is a special school event, and it's kind of like a school assembly, so to speak, and they have to have permission to attend all of these kinds of events. This one in particular is about, you know, Black history and this read along with this book. And so any event, and this is them trying to clean it up after they sent the permission slip out, them trying to clean up, any event, it doesn't matter if it's Black, white, or whatever, the kids have to have permission to attend these events. Parents need to know what events, and if they don't want their kid attending it, then they don't sign a permission slip. If they do want their kid to attend it, they have to bring this permission slip. The way that it's described, however, is what's causing the ruckus. Because it sounds like they just wanted to read a Black book and the kids had to have permission to read a Black book.
It's basically saying, hey, a nigger is finna talk. Are you okay with it? Because what I think is disgusting is the disconnect is, I could see if you want to do a blanket situation like that and y'all got issues in your state, I don't like it because I know what your true intention is. But had it said, Maya Angelou is coming to speak and we need to get your permission, that would track differently than not even giving the name of the speaker. You're just saying, a nigger is speaking. Are you okay with this?
African American offer. Yeah.
That's the problem.
And it that's why there's such an uproar. The way that it was presented.
Yeah.
It seems like just because a black person speaking, we need permission for you to.
Because again, y'all probably DeSantis, the sanctimonious, to quote the Orange Hitler, right? Like y'all all through Florida talking about woke this, woke that, stop woke whatever. So sorry, as Antoine noted, y'all put this out there in the air like that. And thank you, Tanya. Right. They trying to clean it up. They trying and saying sorry for this confusion. And their state's education commissioner said Florida does not require a permission slip to teach African American history or to celebrate Black History Month. Any school that does this is completely wrong. Yet y'all out here banning books talking about Maya Angelou, to mention somebody, right? Like y'all out here banning books about Black people. So sorry if it was misinterpreted, the permission slip situation. Like, are you serious?
Just peeing in our faces and telling us it's Kool-Aid. It's like, we're not stupid.
The way I know that
this is not lemonade. This ain't lemonade. This is not lemonade.
Don't on my head and tell me it's raining. That's how I know that saying to be. So.
All right. I was trying to not have a 2-hour show, so we're gonna try and zip through the rest of this shit. Okay, please. So on the political front, these might be a little bit out of order, so I'm gonna try.
Oh, okay. And Crescent, real quick, are you posting comments? Because I haven't seen a comment post. I hope our system ain't messed up. Tanya, are you seeing comments post?
I am seeing comments.
Okay, so something's wrong on my end, though. It's something glitchy on my end. I wasn't seeing comments.
Yeah, Karen, I just posted Karen's. Karen said they're 3 steps away from making that Black author come in through the service door.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to,
No, hey, I just have to know any glitches so I know how to work around them. So it's noted. Mine doesn't always show the comments.
No worries. So I'm going to talk about this quick win. So in the Pennsylvania State House, the Democrats they're keeping a majority. So sorry, my notes are a little bit all over the place. Right. So with this victory, the Democrats will hold 102 to 101 majority in the state. So right now, Republicans control their state Senate. Democrats hold the governorship. So this is good for the not crazy side. And the reason why it's relevant is because this district, although it does lean Democratic, it has received attention on a national because of Bucks County, which is known as a major swing district for presidential and Senate levels. So it's important to have as much of a check as possible on Republicans trying to do some fucking shady shit. Okay,
exactly.
With ballot counting, with like a bunch of issues.
These are the things that I think go over the average American's head, because when it's something happening in a state Senate in another state that you don't live in, you're like, why is that relevant? On the national level, it has a large effect on districting and just, and like you said, a system of checks and balances, because if a Republican is in charge, things are going to go in that direction. So it's good to.
This is gonna go not in a good direction. How about that?
Right.
So, again,
it's not gonna look good for us.
I'm trying to do about the cussing. I'm not in the play with Tanya, so that's not a part of my dialogue.
Clean, folks.
Yeah. Anyway, but another thing they noted about that particular race is, the winner of this race would be a deciding vote to pass or block abortion restrictions in Pennsylvania. So again, issues that are important. These are those. And also, we talked about the Kansas City, the shooting that happened. And one thing I wanted to make clear of is which party actually is trying to do something about gun control. That would be the Democrats, not the motherfucking Republicans. So again, in terms of people like, well, I am not trying to vote, and what the fuck the Democrats have done for me? Well, you might want to actually be able to try and walk out your door without being terrified about getting shot by an assault rifle. I don't know. Maybe you want that. I want it. So. And we got to start somewhere. So this whole we can't do anything about the problem. There are things we can do. There are absolutely things that we can do. So the next important election that happened yesterday was that special election seat in New York that Santos lied his ass into. Okay. That is literally one for the history books. So the guy who wanted Tom's, I think it's Sozi is how you say his name. He had actually represented the district for 6 years. So I think he had won 3 years, and he didn't seek re-election in 2022 when Santos took it because he was running for the governorship. So I was a little nervous about it, but I was like, he should win, but you never know what's gonna happen. He won by like 8 points. So now
I ain't never been so happy to see a black person lose. I ain't never been so happy.
Except with Herschel Walker.
Maybe Herschel Walker, the abortion machine. Happier when he
But
lost.
he was also running against another black man, so
Yeah.
But now the Republican House majority is now GOP 219, Dems 213, and there are 3 seats that currently still remain vacant. So, and again, there's a bunch of reasons why this is relevant.
Yeah.
Case in point, so Mayorkas, our Homeland Security Secretary, they tried for a second time to impeach him. They succeeded by 1 vote.
Yeah.
1 fucking vote. They got Steve Scalise out of his surgery. He's like, I'm clear to fly. I'm clear to be out in the public.
Yeah. People got to vote in these elections because the representation is what affects these types of things. And when you don't vote, when you just vote in national elections, you're missing the point. Like, we got to vote in all the elections, y'all. But y'all already know that.
But again, we're just trying to give you talking points for the people that you might engage with who ain't just, trying to pay attention. This is our public service. Okay. So, he's only the 2nd cabinet member to be impeached since the country's founding. And the last person was in 1876. So yay, GOP. Like, again, really, honestly, most importantly, so now what? What did that do? The Senate's not going to convict him.
Exactly.
The border's still a mess. Like, what? So what? He's not going anywhere. So what did that do for you? Please tell me what that did for your side.
It's just retaliation. They just want it on the books to try and mar his legacy in some way. Because they extra petty. To
undermine the impeachment process. And because they couldn't impeach Biden. So
exactly.
They just was trying to like figure out, well, who can we impeach? Who can we try and get enough votes for?
Well, and also what I think is, again, hypocrisy. How are you going to impeach the motherfucker that's in charge when there's a policy that you just rejected, that you asked for to fix said problem? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
So,
and I don't think people see the irony in this.
Well, that's what that's what Soze. I keep wanting to say Kaiser Soze, which is not his name. That's the guy who in the special election in New York, he's like, y'all trying to come at me about the border. I support the border deal that was available for y'all to fucking roll with, and y'all decided not to. So, and he used very plain language to call them out on their shit. And it's funny because the pundits are like, oh my God, okay, so this is the way forward. Why did y'all need somebody to show you that? Like, it's just literally plain English, to your point, calling the nonsense out.
You saying I'm doing nothing and you have the opportunity to do something and you doing nothing. Fuck you.
And again, y'all impeach the Homeland Security dude. How does this help at the border? Like, please tell me, but y'all can't because it doesn't. So anyway, and they also, thank you, Kale. Actually, Kale is noticing it's not a coincidence that they voted to impeach him the day that they did, because they knew they weren't sure how the special election was going to go, but clearly had an inkling that it might not go their way.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Thank you, Kale, for that. Thank you for reminding me to make that note. Also, and then moving on from the migrant stuff, but I do want to note this in terms of monies that are being spent. So Governor Abbott in Texas, another Republican governor, Killer Mike, you cool with him too? They have spent more than $124 million sending buses of migrants out of Texas. $124 million. All the things that could have been done with that money for people in the state of Texas. Yeah. And so that equals about 2,244 buses a year to date, and an average of 45 migrants per bus. And taxpayers are footing about 99.6% of the cost.
Yes. For all you Negroes that are complaining about migrants, it's irritating to me because everybody skips over city politics, state politics, and they want to go, because I'm hearing this from black people. They're blaming Biden for these issues instead of, they're not giving any of the blame to these Republican governors that are shipping these people to different states. And that is unfair. You can't blame Biden when these governors are shipping these people to different places instead of sharing. I would kind of respect it if you said, hey, it's a lot. Can we maybe spread this around? They're taking all of them and shipping them to Democratic cities. Okay, so you can't put all that blame on Joe Biden. Secondly, you can't hold Biden hostage when the Republicans are refusing to move on any policy that would help fix the border problem. You can't blame Biden for those two things. Please stop doing it.
It's preach, like right there. That's like right there. So there are states that have said, hey, we need some people. Like, hey, our population is aging. We actually would like some more people to come here. I'm like, well, you got a whole bunch of motherfuckers at the border who are ready to work. That's the other thing. They're ready to take jobs that you don't want. So that's the other thing. Migrants are taking our jobs. What job is the migrant taking from you? Like what? Is he rolling into your office? Is he in?
I ain't seen that nigga waiting outside the Home Depot. I ain't seen one. I ain't seen a single one.
Tanya, is he on stage? Is he on stage? Is there a migrant on stage taking your job? Like, I'm just curious. I'm just trying to figure out what job.
But the thing is this: whenever, say for instance, there's no onions or tomatoes or strawberries in the grocery store. Now everybody's mad. Where are my strawberries for my smoothie? It's like the migrant workers who were picking those strawberries have been shipped elsewhere or bussed elsewhere. So sorry that you don't have strawberries for your smoothie.
Or they cost $20. They cost $20, right? Like
onions for your soup. I mean, it's like, dude, you and it's it's the same thing that happened with SAG last year. My dad was so geeked this weekend. He was like, my show's coming back. And I'm like, I bet it is coming back. I'm like, thank you. You can say thank you if you want to. I was like, because nobody gave a shit until their show wasn't on. And it's it's like,
that's true.
And it's the same thing with them. It's like nobody gave a shit until you couldn't get strawberries for your smoothie or onions or tomatoes last week.
Maybe we just gonna have to come to that. Maybe that's what it's gonna take.
And that's what exactly. It's like, do you know who's picking this? Do you know who's doing this menial labor for beans that Americans don't want to do? Do you know who's doing it?
Ain't gonna do. Also,
exactly, not gonna do.
In Florida,
avocados for your Taco Tuesday spread. Thank you, Tony. It's like you don't even realize it. It's like I've been to the grocery store a couple of days this week, and there was no strawberries. There was one day there was no tomatoes. And I was like, this people don't realize they're just complaining. We're like, well, where's my tomatoes? It's like, dude, this is why you ain't got no fucking tomatoes. This is why you ain't got no strawberries.
That part right there. Yeah, Jason said, I keep asking my black fam, what in the fuck has the border ever done to help your black ass? Like, what indeed? The other thing is, I was talking about in Florida, like, cats just walk when they started doing all the extra ass crazy shit they were doing. A lot of some people who are working on building houses, construction, just left. Walked off. They're like, okay, because he was threatening to round up people and do all this craziness
in Florida. Yeah, and then they got mad because when no work being done, it's like, all your workers is gone.
Right,
and that's the whole thing. That's basically what happened. It's the same thing that happened with SAG last year. Shit has to shut down, and people have to see what happens when you have the absence of this labor, the absence of these people. Yep. And that's what happened. What you wish for. And so it's like, it is what it is. It's like there's actual people making this. There's actual people doing this labor. And it's like, if you understand that, then I think they'd have a different perspective, but they don't get it. You have to make sure they don't have no fucking onions in the grocery store.
And that just also goes to show you, mind you, Reagan was a horrible president unless you were like a rich white man. So to be clear, but that in that juncture, in that era of republicanism, they understood like, no, we need the immigrants. We need migrants. Like, no, let's figure out.
We need that cheap labor. Hello.
Okay. And so the fact that in this era, what the Republicans have done of making it such an issue is exactly going to what Tanya was saying. Like, no. This has always been built into this country, okay? Yeah. And so what does need to happen is we do need to figure out a way to deal with the influx, right? Like, and that's what the bill was going to address. But the Republicans don't have anything else to campaign on. This is all they got. This is literally all that they have. Yeah. So the last thing I want to mention is, and we might spend a little bit more time on this on Friday, but the U.S. economy is expected to grow by an extra $7 trillion because of influx of immigrants, like over the next decade. $7 trillion, because more workers means more output, and that in turn leads to additional tax revenue because they do pay taxes. They pay taxes on a system that they're not even getting a chance to capitalize on.
Right.
Like, again, but no,
make it make sense.
But Black people, in Chicago, mad because there's some migrants sleeping on the floor in fucking O'Hare. Like, seriously, this is what we mad about? Or because Mayor Adams, because they got a gift card for what $100 on it. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. There's a issue with some of the resources that are being utilized, but they ain't living high off the hog. Like, are you serious?
It's like, what would you have them do? You just want them to starve? Like,
it's insane. Insane. So anyway, sorry, moving on. We're done with that. Last thing is also just with the space is the Senate did pass a very large $95 billion aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. Passed 70-29 in the Senate, which is a very large margin, right? Like, I feel like I don't see these types of numbers anymore. It'd be like by one vote, by 2 votes. 22 Senate Republicans voted for this. House Speaker, aka Grinch, Mike Johnson said, he's probably not even going to put, this is what he's been doing. He's not even putting these bills on the floor for a vote or a debate. Like, he's just not even letting the opportunity to come up, because also they know they have such a razor thin majority that some of these people who are actually trying to stay in office, who are in a Biden district, they're like, yo, I'm tired of y'all nonsense. Like, I would probably go ahead and vote for this. And what's really, 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 really aggravating, and it's really aggravating, is Mike Johnson says, well, we're not going to do anything about Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan if we don't address the border.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? That's what you had on the table a week or two ago. Just be truthful and say, it don't matter what you send to us, we're not moving until Trump gets into office. That is what he meant to say.
Tanya's face is, I need it on a shirt with this whole, like, just like when the dude, again, we need a stronger word than hypocrisy, right? Like, whatever it is, but I need the reaction to be Tanya's face. I need to just, this dumb shit. Y'all, this is just dumb shit. Y'all are just crazy.
It's so
I just get so exhausted by it, because it's so, the partisan politics and it's like, we're paying you to get things done. We're paying you to come up with solutions that help your country, help your people. And all of y'all are doing is siding and not doing shit. You're not doing your jobs, the job you're supposed to be in there to do. It's just like, it's just a change of regime every 4 years. It's just a change. It's just like, it's not progressive. And that's one of the reasons why I do, local things are super important to me. Grassroots things are important to me, because grassroots things actually make a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do.
And it's not, and they just work better together. They collaborate better to get things done, to make a difference. And these dudes in Washington, it's just like, I don't like you because I'm not going to do anything for you. It doesn't matter if it's the best thing for the country. It doesn't matter if it pushes things forward. It doesn't matter.
But I just want to reemphasize, though, that you have been elected to do something. Anytime when a Republican goes, we're doing what the American people want. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're absolutely not doing that.
It's completely stagnant. You're deciding until the things are the way I want it. I ain't doing shit. That's basically like, I ain't doing shit.
In this instance, until Orange Hitler's back in office, we ain't doing shit. That's what it is. So, and again, y'all, all this complaining about what's popping, vote these motherfuckers out of office. Vote the GOP, the do nothing GOP motherfuckers, the clown chaos caucus. Vote them out. Like, don't send them back. They don't deserve it. None of them. So Karen said they will always need a poor working class. They just want to replace foreigners with Black people, but we can't see that far. No. That's the whole abortion thing. And making these kids, like, allowing kids to go back to work at the age of 12 and 14. Like, that's also a part of it. They're like, oh no, we gonna get our cheap labor somehow, some way. So it's a lot. It's a lot popping off. Okay, Black excellence. Inventor Otis Frank Boykin, he invented the control unit for the heart pacemaker. So I have more information on him, but this was at the end of the night. I was like, I can't. He had a lot of inventions, and in this instance, he developed a control unit for pacemakers, making it possible for their precise regulation. But there's a couple other he made a lot of electronic resistors, resistor technologies that are used in televisions, radios, computers, guided missiles.
Damn.
I mean, we just be doing the damn thing, and
not the guided missiles.
Literally, who knew? Literally,
well, we know now.
Right. Okay, so I think we can finally wrap up. If you are watching still, like us, like it, just hit like, just hit like, hit the like button. That's really what we would love to have. Antoine, I did see a comment the other day. Somebody said, "I like that you guys are on 3 times a week." I needed to hear that because
I went online and liked it.
Yeah, I was like, "Thank you for saying that."
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. I'm getting more used to it now, though.
Yeah, we're getting a flow together, but Jesus. There are times when I'm like, it's Wednesday, even though I've sent the show flow the night before. I'm like, okay, let me focus. And also, so subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe.
So I can drink again.
Yes. We're going to hit some milestones so Antoine can, so he can, yeah. So for y'all who don't know, Antoine is not trying to have any intake of alcohol until we hit certain milestones with the show.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
My computer is acting up right now. So
we're about to wrap it up. Tanya, did you want to quickly again about your show? I just wanted to...
Come see Clyde's at the Moxie Theater, San Diego. We run Thursdays at 7:30, Fridays, Saturdays at 8 p.m., and Sundays at 2 p.m. with a special industry night on February 26th at 7 p.m. Bring your business cards and all your stuff, and we will network after the show. Antoine's like, I'm out. Here's
I'm probably going to have to end us, and I usually don't do this now. It's usually Antoine, but I'm also trying to keep my face even because Tony had to send me a screenshot of my face at the close, and that was a screenshot, the freeze frame. I look crazy, so. Okay, I'm wrapping this up, Antoine.
Okay.
Coming back. And yes, it sounds like Jason's gonna lead the caravan to come down to San Diego. So we'll figure out.
Jason, get that road trip together. You bring some folks in, $20 rush seats before every show. So if you get there within an hour of showtime, you can get $20 rush seats.
Antoine, I'm trying to make sure I have a good closeout picture, so I'm just gonna smile, okay?
That's hilarious.
Okay, y'all. I'm about to end the broadcast. We'll see y'all on Friday.